to Abians, a monthly media interactive session that provides the governor with a platform and the opportunity to interact with the media, speak to Abians, take feedback from you, ask the necessary questions, so without much ado, I will be handing over the microphone to His Excellency for his introductory speech. So, Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, Ndi Abia, day one. Let me start by apologizing that this chat is starting late. Several things, including the Osuagwu speaker and the speaker of the House of Assembly. So, my apologies. I believe that the organizers have recognized everyone, particularly the anchors and the media houses that are represented here. So if you permit me, I will stand on that to welcome all of you to my head this evening. Our chat holds at the beginning of every month. Unfortunately, a few things got in the way this month of March that we are holding it today. Today is a special day because it marks exactly 1 year after our brothers and sisters in Abia State trooped out en masse on the 18th of March 2023 to cast their votes, which brought this government into being. So even if we have to say it for the opt-in time, it won't be enough. I'd like to use this opportunity to thank every Abia person who participated in the process that brought us here, including those who did not support us at that time. A lot of them are now seeing the light. I want to say thank you to Abia people, thank you to Nigerians, thank you most importantly to God who made this period to be possible. So I believe our last chat was in February, and between February and now, a lot of things have happened, which all of you are witnesses to. We continue with our massive road revolution, with the drainage, the light of Abia, the improvement in our healthcare delivery system, and most recently, our resolve to retrieve our educational system that was going down. Just today, at our school, we approved the remodeling and retrofitting of 170 primary schools and 51 secondary schools across the length and breadth of the state. The whole idea is that by the end of the year, all our schools would have received the touch of rehabilitation and retrofitting. We designed and approved a model amongst a lot of other designs that we looked at. What we think is the best for our schools. So as time goes on, you'll see that our schools will begin to wear different look. And a standard school in Abia must look a certain way. And when we are done with that, we also have a lot of other things, because the school is just not the structure. The most important, the curriculum. What are we teaching our children? We must teach them what will be relevant in the 21st century. The world is talking today about artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, electric vehicles, renewable energy, and the Internet of Things and digital technology. So if you were teaching people camera in the 21st century, I'm sure you know you would meet the boss. So we want our people to be competitive, because they are going to compete in the global environment where borders have become artificial. So the other area that is important is the quantity and quality of the skills of the teaching public. So we need to ensure that we have the right number and the right training for our teachers. It's not going to be easy, but we are determined. We know we'll get there. We have also received a lot of support from multilateral agencies and other institutions. And we know we are not alone. There is no need in inventing the wheel. If it has been done elsewhere, and it's possible, just go and copy it instead of reinventing the wheel. We continue our drive to improve healthcare delivery and the outcomes in the state. In the next month, the AMPA will be visiting Nigeria and Abia State, to be specific, and they will be here for about 2 weeks performing a medical mission that will be free. The state is supporting to ensure the success of that mission. They will perform hundreds, if not thousands, of surgeries, eye operations, and other medical activities to support our people. So I'd like to use this opportunity to inform us that all our people in the villages should make themselves available and use this opportunity that will be provided by ANPA. Their plans are very elaborate, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So it will be sad if our people do not respond. So as media people, and of course people who are listening to us, from the comfort of their homes. I'd like to inform us to be part of that medical mission. There are a lot of areas we had promised that by the end of this month, we are going to resolve the long, lingering pension issues. NESCO today, we have some approval that we have secured. And very soon, the pensioners will hear from us so that we can put that behind us. There may be other areas that you want some clarification. So I will turn this over to the anchors now so that they can take us through questions and answers. So once again, I'd like to welcome you. I'd like to thank you for participating. And I'd like to thank you for carrying out your civic responsibility of paying your taxes and keeping your environment sparkling clean. We have preached enough, and very soon we will now start enforcing keeping our environments clean. It's no use that we spend the money we are spending cleaning the drainage, retrofitting and rehabilitating the roads, and then the people for whom all these are being done will not do the simple job of just cleaning where they live. Cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness. So let me turn it over to the anchors now, and you are free to ask your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency. The governor's strong emphasis on education lends credence to that famous statement by our U.S. President Washington, that our efforts as a nation can never be swifter than our efforts in education. On that note, I will be handing over the microphone to the moderators, Ms. Nora Okafor of Arise TV and Michael Oni of Enimba FM, to carry on with the rest of the question and the answer session. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Your Excellency. Good evening, everyone, and those listening at home. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a media engagement action. Governor Alex Otti speaks to audience, and it's a monthly no-hold-barred interface that highlights the major strides of the administration and provides clarity on the programs of the government led by His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti, and working on several issues as he mentioned, from infrastructure to education, health, agriculture, industrialization, job creation, just to mention a few. But this interaction is live on several media stations in Abia State and beyond. So the BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Spain 95.3 FM, Buzz 88.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Rapid 96.9 FM, Zik 96.3 FM, Enimba 94.3 FM, and Real 99.1 FM. My name is Michael Osuagwu.
Of course, I'm still your favorite volunteer of Arise News. Well, it's also streaming live on AF News, ABN TV, Iberi TV, and other online platforms. And please, for tonight's engagement, we want to plead with our colleagues that to make it seamless and also to make it more interactive. We'll be taking just questions from 12 persons, vary from different categories of media, the online, print, and the broadcast media. We're talking about television and radio stations. So for the print, you have 3 persons asking questions, online 3 persons, also radio and television 3 persons each. And for our online audience, please, the number to call is 09065108289. Again, the number to call is 09065108289. Sorry, SMS only, please. SMS only. So we'll be starting with the print media. Questions, please.
And it is important to mention that those at home can also make use of the WhatsApp, which is one of the socials that we have on the same number, 0906-510-8289. So we'll begin with this. Let's begin with Steve, please.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Steve Oko of Pandemic Papers. Well, I'm sorry it's only one question, but as usual, I'm also giving an information, sir. A lot of people are worried about food insecurity. It has actually become a national issue. In other states, away from the rhetoric, we have specific plans by the state government to ensure that food is massively produced. We want to key into that program, if any, because some of us actually are also interested to know what we are doing in that regard. Let's forget grammar. What practical terms does the Excellency have to make sure that Abians feed well? And then the information, Your Excellency, is that research has it that 1 out of 4 patients at the Abia Diagnostic Center are down with glaucoma. So, and we have been told that the treatment for this eye challenge is very costly. Is the state government planning perhaps to float a kind of palliative, or you are going to subsidize the treatment? Thank you very much.
All right, Steve, you now ask 2 questions. So, which one should we answer? Want me to answer the 2? Okay, the first one was information. Oh, the second. Okay. Steve, are you Igbo?
Yes, I am.
So, you said I should forget grammar. Should I speak in Igbo? All right. Food insecurity is real. And at least we have seen a few places where people have thrown decency to the winds and descended on foodstuff that are not theirs. Some people will say it is stealing, but a hungry man, they say, is an angry man. So there's no amount of grammar or rhetoric that a hungry man would listen to, except if you give him food. Some of the things we also do are all geared towards the welfare of the people. And welfare starts with food. If farmers do not have access to the markets and access to their farms, it's a problem. So when we are constructing roads, both in the urban areas and then local governments, like a lot of you will attest to, it is all geared towards making easy for people. But beyond that, we started engaging in a lot of initiatives, not only to solve the immediate challenge of hunger, but then the medium to long-term challenges that we anticipate. We are working around the clock to see that all lands that are available, particularly to the state, are cultivated this planting season. There are quite a lot of plantations that we are still trying to disentangle. Some of them have been concessioned by previous governments to people who are actually not planting them. And we have, in the last few months, been engaged in trying to disentangle some of those concessions that were made by previous administrations. And we are doing them quietly. And some of them have willingly returned some of those funds to us with conditions. Some of them want to be refunded the money they paid and the monies they claim they had invested in the place. So we are very conscious of it. We also have programs that support people involved in agriculture and trade and commerce at the very, very low nano level. The cooperative arrangement that we have just put in place will make available no less than 100,000 naira to farmers and traders. I believe 100 of them per local government in the first instance, and then we will go to the wards. And we believe that with those kind of initiatives, our people will be sufficiently empowered to produce what they will eat. Of course, the federal government has also been supportive, and in the last few days I received information, and this was championed by the Governors Forum for us to evacuate some tons of grains that are allocated to states, and I believe that ours should be on the way. We try to distribute these to the poorest of the poor in every ward. I'm sure that if you followed, you will know that the earlier ones that were received were all shared to the people who are deserving of it. So, in a nutshell, I can assure you that we are working on it to ensure that our people are secured food-wise. Your second comment on glaucoma, I think the last week was glaucoma week, and I received reports, and in fact congratulatory messages from some of the beneficiaries of that week. We say statistics are that 1 out of every 4, that is at 25%. If that is correct, luckily we have very well-trained eye doctors, even within our administration. And not too long ago, I had appointed a chief medical director for the specialist hospital and diagnostic center. And my belief is that he had enough training and the capacity, and of course the support from government to ensure that the eye center in that place. Of course, drill down to all the general hospitals, begin to function. So it may still be early days, but our plans are robust, and most importantly, our resolve is unshakable. So thank you very much, Steve. I hope I've answered your questions. Thank you.
Please begin with our colleagues to please stick to one question and then precise at the same time. Mr. Awurum, please your question.
Your Excellency, sir, I'm Mourn. These things. Almost a almost on a daily basis, we keep hearing about concentric layers of problems that keep coming out from government, especially what we inherited from the past administration. Given this scenario, sir, are you overwhelmed by the number of problems in the government?
Do I look overwhelmed, Emmanuel? I don't think that we applied for this job not knowing that we are going to be dealing with problems. Just like Obasanjo once said, that if we are not expecting problems, then you shouldn't have come. So the reason why we fought to retrieve this state from dilapidation is because we knew there were problems. So we cannot be overwhelmed by the problems. And we are encouraged because I think it was Albert Einstein that said that you can never solve a problem using this same mindset that you used in creating it. Luckily, we are not the ones that created these ones. But we cannot continue to dwell on the problems. It's already 9 months since we came, getting to 10. So we have consigned the problems and challenges to where they belong. We folded our sleeves and we are doing what we have to do. So we cannot be overwhelmed by the challenges. And that's probably why you don't hear us talk about it. Because we don't solve a problem by complaining about it. We solve a problem by doing something about it. And something we adore. Thank you.
Thank you. One more question for... thank you. One more question for the print media. Well, it is important to note that messages are being received on the WhatsApp line 0906 510 8289 0906 510 8289. Mr. Ndi Abia.
Your Excellency, the performing governor of Abia State, Your Excellency, and Chief General Sam Ndi, Chairman, Corresponding Chairman of Abia State Council of Nigerian Union of Journalists. Your Excellency, your government has been doing a lot on road infrastructure, which others, including the critics, cannot afford to thank you for what you are doing to change the narratives in the state. Your Excellency, this evening we've just been informed that the known Eluama Road will be given a boost, which is a welcome development. Yet, let's see, there is this Omobrari Road, which has been a problem to people of that very area. Let's see, people from Obodile's houses find it difficult to get from their kit and kin living in Obodile Bay and Omuawa. The Excellency want to know what the government is doing because it's a very major road which can take Abia out of this very place to Imo State. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much for your kind comments. Chief Journalist. Good evening. You know, sometimes we forget that this government is just 9 months old. So all the problems cannot be solved in 9 months. Yes, the Mourn 11-kilometer road has just been awarded, and I believe the flag off will happen next week. In addition, the Osuagwu Road has also been awarded. That's a very difficult terrain if you know that road. And will be flat off in 48 hours on Wednesday. So we are taking them one step at a time. I've taken note of this road that you are just mentioning, the Omuaparari road. I'm not in a position to make further comments on it until I have looked at the budget. If it made it to the budget 2024, then you can sleep, knowing fully well that you will get there. But if you didn't make it, we'll take note of it and have our people go inspect the road, and then we'll now place it on the queue for the next set of roads. Thank you.
Up next is a great program. We're taking just 3 questions from the radio person. My colleague, Michael, will have to start the questions.
Permit me to start. Your Excellency, I'll be asking a question on the welfare of workers and pensioners. I'm glad that you mentioned your plans for the pensioners. Something will be done very soon during your introductory speech. The issue of welfare is one very major issue that you campaigned with during the campaign period. But there are still some issues now. First, local government workers. Some are complaining that despite verification, they are not receiving their salaries. Some complaining 8 months, 9 months, and Abia State College of Education Technical, and some have also complained about disparity in payment for the local government workers. While we're yet to hear about any wage award to cushion the effect of subsidy removal for workers in Abia State. What are your plans to address these issues? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've had the complaints to Micah, and just today I had the Attorney General, the Accountant General, the Commissioner for Finance, and all the people that are involved in the process salary payments to sit down with me sometime tomorrow so that we can understand why some people are not being paid. One thing you can be sure of is that we have made provisions for the salaries. So what you see are exceptions rather than the rule. But then it should not happen that some people are not receiving their salaries and the money is sitting in the bank. So it's going to be dealt with very soon. Some of the salary areas that you may have heard about from Awurum College of Education Technical, and I think absent. Those were areas that were being owed before now, and we have just done an exercise. You see, the problem is that some of those were not brought to my attention early enough. And I remember some people reaching out to me early last year during the campaign to say they were being owed. And the former government claimed they were not being owed. So it turned out that some people, it's just like pensions. It was only when we started the verification of pension arrears that we realized that some people were being owed pensions that date back to 2014 and 2015. And we have made the promise that we want to clear them, so we have to clear them. And because anyhow you look at it, government is a continuum. And to the extent that those salaries have been, or pensions and salaries have been confirmed and verified are being owed, it's the government that owes it. So we are going to look at those. But suffice it to say that these complaints are the exception rather than the rule. Majority of the people receive their salaries by and before the 28th of every month. And you talked about wage award. We are looking at that. But I think the good news is that at least we are prompt with the payment of majority of the salaries. And that majority is actually in absolute majority. So maybe about 5% of the people complaining. In the payroll, the last time I checked, we had close to 66,000 people on the payroll. We think that number is large, but we continue to do our best. Our exercise has reduced that number, the verification exercise that was done. It was initially over that, but after the exercise, the number reduced to that to about 66,000, which is still large, both the state and the federal, the state and the local government. So we keep improving, we keep trying to sanitize the system, and we keep working hard to ensure that the welfare of our workers are prioritized. Thank you.
Okay. We have to be a little bit gender sensitive at this point. Patricia, flow your flow.
Good evening, Your Excellency, and all protocols duly observed. So I want to start off by appreciating you for all the things you are doing for persons with disability in the state. Very remarkable is the fan cracks that the blind usually go for every year. For some time now, that slots, the slot Abia State, have been hijacked over the years. But on the right all these things were resolved and they were able to go for this year's home. So, sir, my area of concern is about the persons living with disability who have this interest for education, that they want to further their education, but they are financially constrained. In fact, many of them have this, challenge. Sometimes they go from one place to the other seeking for assistance. Some of them are even the breadwinners, in their homes, and met the challenge while in school or doing one thing or the other. So, and another angle to this is those who are, who have graduated are also looking for employment, especially in the area of retirement. It's easy for someone to look for something to do and at least, but when these people retire, it becomes difficult for them to, find something to sustain on. Please, sir, I want to appeal or ask if there is any plan for persons with disability, at least to get assistance for those of them who want to further their education to the tertiary institution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Patricia, for your very kind words. Specific to your question, we have, I have a special assistant, persons living with disabilities. And that particular agency is under the Commissioner for Women Affairs, Poverty Alleviation. A lot of programs have been undertaken in the last 9 months just to make life a little easier for persons living with disabilities. We have just started setting up the new scholarship board, and even before the scholarship board, we had requests for Abia students in the different law schools in the country who needed assistance, and we have just approved bursary awards for all of them. So I have taken note of this information about some of them. So if you don't mind, David Aniele is a senior assistant, the special assistant on persons living with disabilities. I will try and put him in touch with you, since you have a lot of information on them. And if there are people like that that we can support, I'll be very glad to do that. But I always like things to be done properly. So maybe there should be a way of knowing who they are and why they need them. That somebody is living with disability doesn't mean that he cannot do something for himself. But the indigent amongst them, we'll be glad to support them in a process that can be replicated and we can rely on. In terms of jobs, when we do all the things we do, the target is job creation. And the requirement, particularly for publicly quoted companies, that they must report the number of people living with disabilities that they have hired or they are working with them. I know for banks, it's a compulsory report. So when we are creating jobs, we are not going to discriminate. People living with disabilities will have the opportunity to benefit from those jobs that are created. Thank you very much.
One more slot for the radio, and we have Kingsley of Rapid FM. Thank you.
Excellency, good evening, sir. My question to you, sir, this evening is, you presented the 2024 budget with over 5 billion naira, which have 84% capital expenditure and 60% recurrent expenditure. And you said to finance that budget, you will have to borrow. So my question to you this evening is, have you secured any loan from the execution of the 2024 budget? If yes, how much is it?
All right. Thank you very much. Those numbers you quoted are under. There are plans to secure loans, and the plans are actually at maturity stage. But if your question is tangentially related to the recent issue that was masterminded by PDP, accusing us of securing 145 billion naira loan, I'm sure that you must have read the special advisor, media and publicity. You must have read his refutal. Those were lies, and I've been expecting that the authors of that garbage should apologize. But what I see is that some of them have gone to delete the posts from their timelines instead of coming out to apologize. So that allegation was untrue. It was based on wrong information, either because they were ignorant, or they were mischievous, or both. So we are in the process. Just 2 days ago, the Islamic Development Bank approved a loan of $125 million for the state under the APSEED program. I'm sure you're also aware that the African Development Bank had approved another loan for us. Those loans have not been drawn yet, but the approvals are in place, and the next thing that will happen will be for the documentation to be perfected, loan agreement to be signed, and conditions precedent to draw down to be met. We have received offers of loans from commercial banks in the country, but we have not drawn on any of them. And of course, we are also financially enlightened as a government that we do not need to draw loans until we need them. Even the loans that we are talking about, when all the documentation is in place, we will only draw them when we need them. And anytime we have liquidity, we will repay so that we don't continue to accumulate interest. So that is our area. So Kingsley, I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Up next is the online media. We are going over to Mr. Emenike.
Excellency, my name remains Mr. Emenike Urebu. I have a question and one information. Your government has been doing so much in the area of infrastructure in Aba. But the rainy seasons are here, and we don't know what are the plans in respect to the floods. We will have an improved environment, or what are the construction plans in that regard. My information is as regards the School of the Blind here. I visited there and discovered that the library is eaten up by termites. It would be nice your Commissioner for Education to visit there and see it as a realization. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Olunke. Yes, you're right. The issue of the School of the Blind was actually reported at Chisco this morning. And the termites and library featured. So I already have given directives on what to do. It's very sad that termites are attacking the library. And you know what that tells me is that the people that should use the library are not using it. And that's why termites took over. So we would ensure that libraries are used, including the ones we want to retrofit. We want to get back to the culture of reading, culture of people using libraries. And libraries have also gone digital. So you have electronic books, electronic libraries in vogue right now. So as we bring back our libraries, we will also ensure that they are digitally compliant. Now, your question on flooding is a good question. The rains have actually started coming, but not at the level where we can test some of the things we are doing. But it may interest you to note that the simple thing we are doing will make flooding not be as much a challenge as it used to be. For instance, in Area Market, there are heaps of refuse blocking a drainage. The picture I saw is that the heap of refuse is more than a 2-story building. So in the last 1 week, people have been evacuating it. In fact, I have given a directive that more machineries, trucks be moved in there so that we can completely clear that place and free the drainage. What we're also doing around University Road would also support in moving stormwater into the Aba River. The school road drainage system that had completely collapsed, we are rebuilding. So some of these may be palliatives, but we believe that they will work. We have a comprehensive drainage system for Aba. It's going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to take time. So we decided that we should do everything that is possible within this short time to evacuate water into the Aba River, while the long-term solution will come into place. It will take no less than 48 months. No, I think about 36 months from the schedule that CCACC gave us, that the design of the drainage system in Aba has been done, has been approved. It will cost a lot of money, it will take time. We have not awarded it yet. I believe that we will very soon. So my expectation is that the flooding that we used to experience in Aba in the recent times will not happen at that level from now and going forward. That's my expectation. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. One more question from the online media platform, Frankie of ABN TV.
Thank you very much, His Excellency. Good evening. My name is Ifani Okali from ABN TV and radio. So please, I would like you to tell us the real truth about geometric power project, because people in Aba are still complaining about light. Thank you very much.
All right, be fine. Now I wish you were asking Professor Bartman. My name is Alex Otti. I don't work for geometric, but I'll tell you what I'm told. You know, the process of power generation, transmission, and distribution is a very serious process. So it's not you fling your hand and it happens. Okay. So what I know is that what we commissioned was the first turbine of 47 megawatts, and that was on the 26th of February. 2 days later, the second and third turbines were energized. So that means that in the plant today, there is 141 megawatts of power. Now, transmitting the power and distributing it is an entirely different process. Now, for you to transmit, they need to do what they call mapping. And mapping takes time. I'm told that as at 12 midnight yesterday, that they have gotten to 15 megawatts on the first turbine. So it started with 0 megawatts. They moved to 7 about a week ago, and now they are at 15. Now, if within the period they had had a problem at Owaza that disrupted gas supply, but it was quickly resolved. So my understanding is that if that problem did not happen, that there will probably be anywhere between 20 and 25. But I'm told that the entire power from the first turbine would be fed into the grid. That is the Aba ring-fenced island by or before the end of this month. Okay. So if geometric is able to feed 15 megawatts into the island, don't forget that you are coming sometimes from 0, 5, maybe 10. I remember we were putting pressure on Niger Delta Power Holding to at least give us 20 megawatts. for Aba, and it was difficult. So it requires a little bit of patience. But I'm told also that people around places like Umode and Go have been enjoying constant power supply. So it's not everywhere. So as the capacity improves, they must sell the power. If they don't sell the power, it's useless to them, and they can't collect money. Right? So there are people who started enjoying that 7 megawatts from that first time after commission. And today that they are 15 megawatts, more and more people are enjoying it. In fact, one woman sent me, she's the wife of a late traditional ruler who was a senior friend of mine. She sent me a message this evening as I was coming here, thanking me that they've not taken power from her place around Osisioma since 2 weeks. So there are people who are already enjoying it, but it's going to get to all the marked places on the island as they gradually improve on the supply. So that is the truth as I know it. Any other thing other than this, I'll refer you to Professor Batin. Thank you. I hope you are happy. Fine.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. One more slot for online media, then we'll move to television. Kingsley Alozio, candid reporters.
My name is Kingsley Alozio, candid reporters. Your Excellency, my question is on trade and commerce, area international markets to be specific. Sometime in February this year, the contractor handling the project of A-Line said he only got a loan with the help of the former administration, which amounts to 1.5 billion naira. So I want to know from you, area market in construction going on there, is it purely a private business, or the state government has a hand in it as regards percentage? If so, we want to know what the percentage is. Then what will be if your administration are aware or involved in the current reconstruction of that market? Because engineer, for who is the contractor, they said he has gotten up to 4,200, which people are already occupying now. What do you need on ground, and what is your administration doing now as regards the construction of area market? And is it true that 1.5 billion naira was taken from the two previous administrations?
All right. Thank you, Kingsley. Some of the questions or sub-questions under the question, I may not be in a position to answer for the simple reason that if somebody went and borrowed money from his bank, there's no way I will know. Except if the government gave guarantee. To the best of my knowledge, I have not seen any document that speaks to a guarantee from government. But I know that it is a private-public partnership arrangement. And in fact, the matter came up again at Chisco today. And the reason the matter came up was that I received complaints from some of the original owners of the shops on that A-line who claimed that the contractor, the government partner, we are trying to sell their shops to money banks. So that is the area where I got interested. And my understanding, like you said, is that the original number of shops there was about 4,000 plus. But then the new design will produce about 1,000 more. And so my instruction today was that all the people that had shops before should be given first right of refusal, and at a price that should not be cutthroat. And we have also reasoned that if anyone is unable to pay for circumstances beyond their control, which should be provable, then the government can intervene by negotiating with the bank to support the purchase of those shops and repayment to happen over a period of time. So that is how much I know. But it will be interesting to engage. I'm sure my people are engaging with the partner, and some of these directives that I gave today must have been communicated to the partner. And I've also instructed that other lines should follow suit, because the last time I went there, I was impressed with the quality of job going on there. So if that has succeeded as a model, I see no reason why we shouldn't deploy it to the other parts of our country. That's how far I can go. Now, I don't know if I've satisfied your request.
Okay, thank you, Your Excellency. Now to my own constituency, my people, my people. Okay, I think the first question will go to Chisco of Blue Central.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Chisco. I work with Blue Central Television. In your New Year broadcast, you did promise civil servants of an increment in their salaries. And then there's also the expectation on the wage award. You did mention that a while ago. Now, between the increment to the salaries of the workers and the wage award, which one do you think you can provide for the workers soon? And when do you think this can take effect? Thank you, Your Excellency.
All right, Shima, thank you. Yes, I remember I made that promise, and I can assure you I have not withdrawn it. So a committee is already working on it, and we believe that very soon they will come back, and then we can look at their report, look at our ability to pay. You know, it's one thing to be willing, it's another thing to be able. So willingness, you can take that for granted. We have to also look at our ability to pay. So once we are done with that, it will be rolled out and you will be duly informed. The wage award and the increase in salaries, they are almost the same thing. You just put more money in the pocket of workers. So I'm not too sure that they are mutually exclusive. Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, we have more spot for the television. Emmanuel Osuagwu of Afia TV.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Emmanuel Osuagwu. I report for Afia TV. Your Excellency, in October last year, during International Day for the Aged, I found myself at a village around Umuahia here, Ukome, and there what I saw was sympathetic. It was a woman named Mama Mercy Anosike. She had lost her husband many years ago. At that place, she gave birth to 5 children, all died in their adulthood. And where she lives is not befitting for any human being, not even an animal. Because I went into her apartment, the mattress there, in fact, Patricia will bear me witness, we went there together, she cried on that very day. And now, she is facing gender-based violence. Her in-laws are insisting that she leaves or be killed. Since that day, I have not been able to do anything because it isn't within my powers to be able to do that. And I have been wanting to bring this to your attention. So, Your Excellency, I appeal on behalf of Mama Mercy Anosike, who is in her late 70s, that government intervenes, both in her welfare and, of course, ensure that nothing happens to her from the threats from her in-laws. Thank you, Your Excellency.
All right, thank you, Emmanuel, for this information. This happened in October, from what you said, right?
Yes, Your Excellency.
And you know, the best way to be our neighbors and our brothers' keeper is when we see things like this. We need to bring them up quickly. So we have lost 5 months. And if you didn't speak today, maybe the next time we'll hear that something serious may have happened to her.
I had wanted to raise it the last time, but I hadn't.
No, you don't need to wait for a session like this. You can talk to the commissioner for information. You can speak to the special advisor who invited you for this meeting. You can even drop it somewhere in the social media.
I did.
Oh, you did, yeah? Okay, so we missed that. So I will assure you right now that I will ask the Chief Security Officer to liaise with you, and by tomorrow we'll move in there and ensure that yes, so please get in touch with Emmanuel. Yes, please, something, and I need a report by tomorrow evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that very, very interesting lead there. Okay, please, before we take the last question from the online, from television people, please, let's take some SMS online because I have a lot of them coming in. And this one is actually coming from an anonymous person. It says, "Good evening, Your Excellency. What's your administration doing to offset salary, arrears of pension, with emphasis on BCA retirees that haven't received their pensions since last year, December till death? Even during the verification exercise, BCA retirees were not scheduled for verification, and every of their efforts to get verified proved abortive. What's the administration doing to clear salaries and arrears owed senior secondary school teachers?"
Okay, I think we are speaking about arrears of salaries and all that. So if the anonymous person is listening, I think I've dealt with that. Next one.
All right, similar questions on welfare of workers. Someone said, "We observed that town planning authorities across local government areas have not received salaries for high cost fees. What could be the cause? Chiko from Ndi Abia, and something relating to that from Onoha Thompson from East Anambra North. Sir, are you aware about biometric thumbprinting exercise going on in all the 17 local government areas that is stopping the salaries of regular and visible workers in the name of don't pay? When are we expecting wage award? These are some of the questions that you've addressed. And someone is also saying, you promised civil servants that you will pay arrears of leave allowances from 2018 till date, including 2023. So when is that going to happen? So these are questions we joined together for you from the SMS mindset.
All right. The only thing that looks a bit different is the biometric. It's an exercise that we put in place to ensure that people come to work. So if you are unable to come to work for 70% of the times you are supposed to be at work, then you won't be paid. So people just have their pay, they get verified, and some I understand don't even stay here in Abia. So when you come in, you clock in. When you are leaving, you clock out. By the time we check it, and you made 70% and above, then you can be paid. So I believe it's a good exercise. So if you are not paid, that means you are not working. But the rest of the questions are related to salaries, which I still insist are exceptions from the rule. And those exceptions are going to be dealt with within this week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. This question is also related to salaries, and it's coming from Awurum College of Education Technical. They said they are suffering from salaries that have been deducted, and they are asking, sir, are you willing to pay them their compass and their contis? This other person is also asking, sir, please can you give us operation cover all quarters in our major cities? The hazard associated with its open drainages is becoming too much. Please help us, sir.
In addition to the operation cover gutters, apologies, I need to add this. In Aba, we have persons damaging government properties a lot. I understand that the government is covering some of these drainages, but it is the government is covering the drainages. Some persons, maybe non-state actors, I don't know them, they're also damaging them, especially those in search of the roads so that they can sell them. And this happens very early in the morning. I encountered one on my way to work. So what is the government doing to ensure that the government puts a stop to the damage of the government properties? Thank you.
All right. Yes, it has come to our attention, and we are doing something about it. But we also like to use this opportunity to appeal to our people. When you destroy something that is meant for the good of everybody, then you are not a good citizen. But we already have set up a task force, and very soon, anybody that will catch will appear before mobile courts. And from there, whatever he sees, he should take. We have appealed to people enough to say do the right thing. It is criminal to damage government property because it's for your use. And we are doing something about it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I think this is a more convenient time for us to call it a day of tonight's edition of the media chat with the governor. But sir, before your opening remark or during your opening remark, would you please help me to answer the question of funds being tampered with, local governments and funds being tampered with by the state government? Thank you. Fund being tampered with.
Local government funds being tampered
by the state government.
I don't understand the question.
there are allegations that the money is attributable to local government administration is being tampered with by
who? By rats or snakes?
By the Abia state government. So make clarifications on that, sir.
There is nothing like that. You know it's not possible. You know it's not possible. We don't operate a system where snakes swallow money. So, and there's nothing like that. So, if they have proof, they should come with it. But you know, there will always be allegations. Something happened, they will cook up something. So, there is nothing like that. But then, if anything, local governments are now operating very well. And when you get to your local government, you can also approach your mayor. I saw pictures posted yesterday of the massive renovation going on in Ohafia local government. I was very glad that the same thing in Isialangwa South, Isialangwa North, and a few Aba North, a few local governments have, and then the mayors are grading roads, fixing health centers, and not doing things that were not being done before. So if anything, I should expect that somebody will ask, where are the local government getting the money to do the jobs that they are doing, instead of talking about funds being tampered with. So it's not true. So on that note, let me thank everyone that participated in this media chat. It has been very interesting. We may not have answered all your questions, but there are several other fora and platforms that you can engage with us. The Commissioner for Information is there, the Chief Press Secretary there, the Special Assistant, Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, and all other agencies of government. So feel free to engage, feel free to ask your questions, seek clarification. Don't get involved in promoting rumors and falsehood coming from people who never believed that government can work. I'm sure that we are all witnesses to the fact that government can work. And so I want to thank you and also ask you to be the vanguard of this government by ensuring that people around you do the right thing. Keep your environment sparkling and clean. Do not throw garbage into the drainage. Very soon, beans are going to be provided in every nook and cranny of the townships, so that instead of dumping your refuse on the floor or inside the drainage, you put it in the bin that our SEPA will come to cut away, so that we will permanently leave that description of Abia State being one of the dirtiest states in Nigeria. I want us to begin to be described as one of the cleanest states, if not the cleanest state in Nigeria. That's a challenge to all of us, and I believe we can get there. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me once again thank you for being part of this media chat. Thank the people at home who tuned into different stations for participating, and congratulate you once again for making the government of the day possible by voting us. And we can assure you that we will never let you down. Thank you very much and have a good day and trust.
So members of the press, please be seated for the item 7. Why is the excellency present?
Yeah, fine.